Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news. Sometimes in life events seem as though fate had hand-painted them. Not chaotic or boisterous, but silent, deliberate. And in that stillness something holy. For Winter Everett, that moment occurred amid the snow-blanketed silence of the Swiss Alps, hundreds of miles away from all she had ever known. Atlantan life had lost its buzz. None of the buzz of family tension, the focus of the camera, the shadow of past tragedy accompanied her here. She had deleted all of it. Her truth, her tranquility, and the soft touch of a hand she now clasped without thinking remained. Her lover. The man who had discovered her not during her best years, but rather during her process of learning how to live once more. Just the day before, she secretly uploaded the picture on her verified Instagram. Nothing said. Not building at all. Just picture. Winter, covered in a big wool coat, curls tucked beneath a fur-lined hood, her face lighted with a grin so mild and so true it startled others. Beside her stood her new husband, tall, robust, understatedly elegant. His arm fit her like it belonged there. And it performed as well. Happily ever after. Found in the Alps ring snowflake, Switzerland red heart, #honeymoon bliss, #forever my love, the caption said. Beneath that picture, nevertheless, was a trip none really comprehended. A metamorphosis absent in confessionals or video. Winter's narrative was about emerging from the ashes of who she had used to be, not only about falling in love. Winter had lived in the edges of someone else's turmoil years ago on the hit sitcom The Family Shantel. Her voice was even softer, her presence kind. She grinned nicely, usually nodding along when more powerful personalities stole front stage. Her nice, quiet demeanor was seen by many as perhaps even shy. Very few, meantime, understood the struggle she had been silently fighting. Then, or at least she believed, she was in love. She had enveloped herself in a constrictive, chilly connection. What started out as comfort grew progressively under control. Promised security and stability. Her lover at the time turned into the architect of her loneliness. He set her wardrobe, where she might visit, what she should eat, even how she should feel. Not all of it was seen on the cams. Still, they captured enough. Enough to watch a lady dimming her own light, reducing her happiness to fit into a prison constructed by someone else's fears. Years, even would it take before Winter could completely withdraw? She also did not merely break off with a man when she did. She separated from the version of herself that had felt unworthy of gentleness. Neither was her healing loud either. It went slowly. It was quite intimate. Early morning hikes were where it happened. In journaling. In meditation. In physical exercise. In learning to once more trust herself. Returning herself to the mirror. Not the body others had remarked on, but the spirit inside it. Winter lost weight. Indeed, more significantly though, she lost fear. And in that newly discovered tranquility, love found her. Not televised on TV. Not for a party. Still through a friend of a friend. A calm relationship. One man from Nigeria called Chuka. A gentle, profoundly respected soul with eyes that saw straight through the mask she had worn for years. Their first discussion had nothing to do with family, television, or celebrity. It had to do with intent, related to spirituality, about what love ought to feel like, not a test, not a house. He kept her in dark on who to be. He inquired of her about her current identity. And for the first time in quite some years, Winter felt not like she was obliged to pretend. Now, in the center of Switzerland, the lady the world had previously disregarded had married. Not a wife motivated by prestige. Not a wife for plot development. But a wife driven by love. They had discreetly eloped. Not with cameras. No spectacle. Just a modest, private ceremony with lots of sincerity in the Nigerian countryside among a small number of individuals. He donned a classic agbada, deep blue and gold, and she a modest but magnificent gown with hand-stitched lace. Their vows were not projected, they were murmured. Promises kept for eternity rather than for entertainment value. Then followed Switzerland, her ideal place of destination. Winter had once gently expressed, almost teasing, a desire to see the Alps. She had seen herself savoring hot cocoa on a mountaintop and seeing the snowfall like feathers. She never imagined it would really come about. Chuka listened, though, and he recalls. And so he brought her here on their honeymoon, not only to satisfy a fantasy, but also to demonstrate her worthiness. The mornings went quiet. Soft light seeping through their chalet's tall glass windows in Zermatt regal and far off. The Matterhorn looked over them silently. First Winter would wake first, stretching under the thick wool blankets with the aroma of espresso already wafting from the kitchen. Always making something warm, eggs with tomatoes, fresh bread, or puffs he had imported into the nation especially to make her smile. Chuka was always awake before her. Sometimes they ate in quiet, not out of discomfort, but rather out of a kind of peace people spend their entire life looking for. The kind of tranquility in which everything is already known, and in which nothing has to be uttered. Their laughter was frequent. Not the obliging, courteous laughter of family get-togethers or dinner parties. Real ones, though. Gut laughs, giggles, cackles resonating through their lodge's wooden beams. She said of him, my blessing. He said of her, my queen. Before she had never been someone's queen. Not like this. They toured the little towns together. Luern, in Tourlan. Grindelwald is riding the Glacier Express. They saw the scene change from deep green valleys to powder-covered mountains while clutching hands under heavy blankets. She photographed every corner, every clock tower, every little alley, every mountain goat that ventured across their path. He also shot pictures of her. Numerous them. Hundreds even. To Chuka, every perspective was artistic. He photographed her crossing snow-covered fields, laughing on journeys on a gondola, drinking mulled wine beside the fireplace, even crying, softly overwhelmed as they stood in the shadow of the Alps. She said, tears running down her face, I just never thought I would be this happy. He planted a forehead kiss on her. You were born to be happy. It was only waiting for your belief. Day 6 saw the beginning of world awareness. One Instagram picture had generated a tsunami of interest. Her comment section went crazy. Audiences, strangers, including additional cast members as well, all flooding into the comments with messages like a group exhaled breath. Winter, you did it. From suffering to force. Inspired by you. This is the light of a lady loved right. Some remarks from women still in abusive relationships thanked her for demonstrating that peace was attainable. Others came from viewers who had undervalued her and now delightedly ate her remarks. Even Chantel said, You seem so content. I am loving this for you, Red Heart. It was among the few public apologies her family would provide. The rest of them kept quiet. But Winter seemed not to matter. She was seeking their approval less now. She and Chuka stood beneath historic paintings at the Lucerne Chapel Bridge, holding hands like young people. They created wishes they never mentioned aloud and tossed pennies into Lake Geneva. Whispering thanks while bathing in warmth that felt like God's own hug, they spent one afternoon in a spa under the ground, thermal baths inside caves. And they would burn a little candle on the windowsills every night back in their chalet. One burner, one lighthouses. It represented for her a life reclaimed. It served as a lesson for him, that love should never extinguish your spark. It should provide cover for it. This gossip is over. If you liked the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.